So according to the Quran, taqwa is an all-embracing moral, spiritual quality of the highest order. It is the driving force that keeps a Muslim on the right track, on the right path. Taqwa is responsible for that, and it is indeed the driving force. Now, if we examine the levels of our faith, the levels of Iman in Islam, we find that there are three fundamental levels. One can be a Muslim, one can have faith at the level of Islam only, or one can have faith or beliefs at the level of Iman, which is a higher level than Islam. And I'll explain the difference shortly. Or there can be a third level at the level of Ihsan. At the level of Ihsan. And all these three terms are used in the Quran and through a hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was once asked, أخبرني عن الإسلام أخبرني عن الإيمان وأخبرني عن الإحسان. Tell me, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, about Islam, tell me about Iman, and tell me about Ihsan. So these are the three levels that one can attain. We're all Muslims. Everyone who utters Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah is a Muslim. But then you can have higher level of faith at the level of personal conviction. This is Iman. Iman within. And then you can have even a higher level of faith. A level of faith where every action of yours is as though Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is in front of you. You're not going to deviate from the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala due to the enormous level of taqwa, God consciousness that you have within you. And what is the driving force that takes one from the first level, Islam, to Iman, to Ihsan? The driving force is taqwa. The more taqwa you have, the higher your faith and Iman is. And we do have an ayah that explains this particular phenomenon. In Surah Al-Ma'idah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He describes this phenomenon in ayah number 93. لَيْسَ عَلَى الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ جُنَاحٌ فِي مَا طَعِمُوا إِذَا مَا اتَّقَوْا وَآمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ ثُمَّ اتَّقَوْا وَآمَنُوا ثُمَّ اتَّقَوْا وَأَحْسَنُوا وَاللَّهُ يُحِبُّ الْمُحْسِنِينَ. Indeed, there is no blame upon those who believe and do the good deeds. No blame for what they have consumed in the past in terms of drinking. Because the background of this ayah is during the last phase of the prohibition of khamr. When the final command came down, don't drink anymore, avoid drinking, it is now forbidden. When that revelation was revealed to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, by the time this commandment reached the farthest Sahabi, during that time, from the time of revelation until the Sahaba have received it, they didn't know and they were drinking. So when they knew that it is now haram, they inquired. They were worried for themselves. They asked, when was that revelation revealed? So they told them, at such and such day. So they said, woe to us. What will happen to us? Because after that we were drinking, although we didn't know. So they raised that concern to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and Allah in this al-ayah al-mubarakah, He revealed that there can be no blame upon those who were consuming alcohol, khamr, drinking during that period, because they didn't know. As long as they have some taqwa, إِذَا مَتَّقَوْا وَآمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ, and they believe and do the good deeds. And this is what is required from every Muslim at the level of Islam. We're all required to believe in Allah, the articles of faith, to fulfill the pillars of Islam, Salah, Sawm, Zakah, Hajj. إِذَا مَا اتَّقَوْا وَآمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ ثُمَّ اتَّقَوْا, and then their taqwa increased. وَآمَنُوا, but now they reached a level of real faith, real iman to the level of personal conviction, iman within. ثُمَّ اتَّقَوْا, and then their iman even went further. It went even higher to the level of وَأَحْسَنُوا, to the level of ihsan. And according to the wordings of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he was asked about al-ihsan, what is ihsan? He replied, بِأَن تَعْبُدَ رَبَّكَ كَأَنَّكَ تَرَاهُ فَإِن لَمْ تَكُنْ تَرَاهُ فَإِنَّهُ يَرَاكَ. It is to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ihsan is to worship Allah, to obey Allah, as though you are seeing Him with your own eyes, as though He is present with you. Consciousness, God consciousness. In the event that you don't have that feeling and you can feel God's presence, do know that Allah is seeing you. Allah is watching you. And this is the definition of ihsan. And of all these three categories of iman, three categories of Muslims, which of them Allah loves the most? Allah said, those who attain the highest level, those who work hard to reach the highest level. Wallahu yuhibbul muhsineen. And Allah indeed loves those who reach that highest level of ihsan. Allahumma ja'alna minhum. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu taqullaha haqqa tuqatih wa la tamutunna illa wa antum muslimun. O you who believe, have taqwa of Allah as His right is. It is His right that you should remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala 24 hours. This is the right of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when this ayah was revealed, the Sahaba were trembling simply because of this haqqa tuqatih. Haqqa tuqatih. How can we do that? We are human beings. We can't remember Allah 24 hours. We have to attend to our businesses. We have families. We have things to do. In no way we can remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala 24 hours. Very genuine concern from the Sahaba that was raised to Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And to this effect, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam gave them a reply. It was revealed to him in Surah Al-Taghabun. فَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ مَا اسْتَطَعْتُمْ وَاسْمَعُوا وَأَطِيعُوا وَأَنْفِقُوا خَيْرًا لِأَنفُسِكُمْ. Have taqwa of Allah as much as you can. As much as you can. مَا Now everyone can interpret مَا differently. But only those who make a conscious effort to really have taqwa of Allah to the best of their ability, they will be indeed the successful ones. And those are the ones whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described in the Quran as the true muttaqun, the true righteous and the true pious and the true God-conscious people. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us of them. Allahumma ameen. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين والمسلمات فاستغفروه.